Good evening, everybody. My name is Jay, and with me is my cousin Andrezinho, and we would like to welcome you to this brand new podcast where two roads have led down one path, where two cousins going down two different journeys in life have come together as one for one reason and one reason only: their love for sports, in particular, two sports: soccer and football. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, queens and kings, welcome to Two Bros, One Pod. What's up, bro? We're finally here.
Yeah, man. Finally here. I'm excited. I'm happy. Let's get this thing going, man.
You made this happen. You were the mastermind behind all of this. And let me tell you, I'm excited that we're actually doing this.
Yeah, man. It's been a long time coming. We planned it. We talked about it, and now we're finally here. We're finally here. I'm excited as well. Let's get this thing going. Hopefully, what we have for the fans, they like it. Yeah, I think we're on to something special. And going back to what you were saying to our fans, the reason why we made this podcast is I realized, well, me and my cousin realized there's plenty of podcasts out there that talk about sports, right? And we figured, why not do the same? Why not talk about our two favorite sports, soccer and football, like you mentioned? But our purpose isn't only to talk to you guys, it's also to inform you guys, to teach you guys. So we would absolutely love if the football community learned something about soccer and the soccer community learned something about football. Maybe they get interested. Maybe one day they go watch a game. Maybe they go in person. They go to a bar. Whatever you do, maybe you fall in love with the game as well. And now, just like us, you have two favorite sports to love. And, I feel like if we do that, that'd be absolutely phenomenal. But if not, if you just want to hear your soccer stuff, your football stuff, and that's it, you're also welcome. And we're here for it. We're here to give you everything.
Yeah, for sure. No, and not just that, like you mentioned, if we could combine, if we could have people that play soccer know the rules and play, or something like that with football, that'd be great. We would absolutely love that if we could like intertwine and combine those two worlds. And if we're the reason for that, that'll be amazing.
Absolutely.
So hopefully if this goes the way we plan it to, hopefully that can happen. So as we both know, speaking of football for a bit, the NFL season is approaching, right?
Yes, sir.
And with that means the fantasy football season will be approaching as well.
Best time of the year.
As it's approaching, we're gonna be kind of shifting a bit towards that because we are both huge fantasy football enthusiasts, right? We love playing fantasy football. So hopefully, once that football season comes around, our like I said, our focus will definitely be switching to that. So if we have any fantasy enthusiasts out there that just like playing fantasy football, we will be bringing you guys some content in the near future, so please stay tuned. But you know what, let's kind of go back a couple steps and let's focus right now on today, this first episode. I feel like it's only right if we start this first episode, the episode that's going to start us off right with both our favorite sport, which is soccer.
Yeah.
Right. So what better way than to start this first episode than to talk about the main three tournaments right now in Europe, right? In the Conference League final, the Europa League final, and obviously the big boy, the Champions League final.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I think we could definitely just go ahead and dive in and start that conversation.
By all means. You want to go ahead and start us off with the Conference League?
Yeah, for sure. All right. So so let's go with the Conference League. As we both know, the final is Roma versus Feyenoord.
Yes, sir.
Right? Did I say that right?
Feyenoord, yes, sir. You got it.
All right. I struggle with that name so much.
Hey, be proud of him, guys. He's practiced and he finally got it. Let's go.
Yes. So the final is Roma versus Feyenoord, and I think it's gonna be a great final. Okay, I think it's gonna be a good final. Both teams are very, very good. So I'm kind of intrigued on who you think is gonna win, and just give me like a little quick reason why you think this team's gonna win.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I think both teams are actually really good. I think it's to a certain extent, it's evenly matched. But I do think Roma just has an edge. I think Roma's a tad bit better in terms of squad quality. And to me, when you ask why, like I said, I do think the squad's a little bit better. But the main reason for me, man, Jose Mourinho. You know how I feel about him from his past, but you got to give respect and credit when it's due, and Mourinho is a phenomenal coach. He has success anywhere and everywhere he goes. So to me, that's going to be the deciding factor. I do see Roma winning. Feyenoord could pull off a surprise, and I wouldn't be shocked or mad because Sinistera, Colombia, baby. Yeah. But no, I got Roma. I do have Roma, better squad, and overall better manager. With all due respect to Feyenoord, of course, but that's right. My prediction. I don't know what you think.
All right. No, listen, I agree with you. I do think Roma's going to win as well. But I would like to talk about how they got to this final. All right. Because their road to the final wasn't as pleasant as they would have wanted to. Okay. So in their group, it was obviously Roma. They had CSKA Sofia, which I think it's a Russian team. Yeah. They had another team that I really don't know how to pronounce it, is Zorya Luhansk. Don't know where that team's from.
Right.
And the other team is Bodo Glint. I don't know if it's Glint, but whatever. So anyway, so you got these four in this group, right? Yep. So Roma started off winning their first game 5-1. Easy, right? Easy money, easy day in the office. Then they ended up going away to Zorya Luhansk. They won that game 3-0 as well. Now, everything seemed that it was going perfect. However, in the third game, they played against this team, this Norwegian team, Bodo Glimt, and something interesting happened. They lost 6-1.
6-1?
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing I said. 6-1 to this team, right? So You're like, all right, maybe it was the climate change. Maybe they just completely underestimated the team.
Right.
You don't know. So, all right, cool. They ended up going, the second leg of the group stage starts. So the first game is against the same team. What happens? They can't beat them either. They can't beat them this second time around. Game finishes 2-2. So by this time, I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. But, it's just, kind of, it's good to know.
Yeah.
They go on to the other team with at home against Zorya Luhansk. Easy money, beat them 4-0. And then they go away to Russia again against CSKA Sofia, and they beat them 3-2. Right. So they ended up with 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. They had 18 goals in favor, 11 goals against, making a difference of 7 goals. They ended up first place with 13 points. Right. Okay. Feyenoord also advanced first. They advanced with 14 points. They had 4 wins and 2 draws. They ended up tying their first game against Maccabi Haifa. I'm not sure where that team's from. I
think it might be from Israel. I think I might be wrong though.
Okay, well, they ended up 0-0. The second game they played against Slavia Praha. They won 2-1. And then the third game, which would have been arguably their toughest competition in their group stage, was against Union Berlin. That one was their easiest game. They won 3-1. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so then the second leg of the group stage, Feyenoord ends up playing against Union Berlin again, beats them 2-1. Then they go to Slavia Praha, ties 2-2. And then they end up on match day 6, beating 2-1 Maccabi Haifa. Okay, so again, so far group stages, undefeated, everything's good, right? Now, they move on to the round of 16. This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. Roma had to play Vitesse. That's how you say it, right? Vitesse,
yeah.
Vitesse.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I think that's how you say it. Yeah.
Well, I think it sounds better saying Vitesse. So
I think so too.
So yeah, let's just go with that. So the first game, the first leg was in their Roma had to play away. Roma ends up winning 1-0. Okay. And then the second game at home, the game finished 1-1 for them to advance to the quarterfinals. You got Feyenoord, who had to play Partizan. Both games they won 3-2 and 3-1 respectively. Not bad. Cool. Again, they go on to the quarterfinals. Now here, something very, very interesting happened. They both had to play a team from their respective groups, which I found very, very interesting. Okay. Feyenoord had to play Slavia Praha, which they had already beaten.
Yeah.
if we look back, they beat them on match day 2-1, and they beat them on, I'm sorry, and they tied on match day 5 2-2.
Okay.
Okay. So they had one win and one draw. So now in the quarterfinals, they start off pretty much reversed, right? Feyenoord and Slavia Praha, they tied 3-3. But then at away, Feyenoord had to play away and they won 3-1. So I'm like, okay, cool. Not bad. It seems like they're kind of playing a little bit better away, but it's all right. Now you go to Roma. Remember that team that beat them 6-1?
The Norwegian team?
Yeah, Bodo
Yeah.
Glimt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they had to go back over there to play them. You're never gonna believe what happens.
Roma loses the first game.
Yeah, they
What?
lost 2-1.
Okay.
They lost 2-1. Now, this is the third time they've played.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And Roma hasn't been able to beat this team. That's 2 losses and 1 draw.
Oh.
Okay. But sadly for this Norwegian team, they couldn't complete that Cinderella story. On the last game, right? The one that counts the most. Roma ends up stepping up and making these guys look like amateurs, beating them 4-0.
Ooh.
So regardless, though, it's something to note that these guys for 3 games couldn't beat them. So again, so they both advanced to the semifinals, which to me is where their toughest competition. Well, maybe not Rome's, because again, you look at the team that they just played and
clearly
right, that was probably their toughest competition.
Yeah.
But in terms of name, the semifinals for both these teams was definitely their toughest competition. Feyenoord had to play Marseille and Roma had to play Leicester City. Okay. So those 2 teams are, again, they're bigger names than the usual competitors. Right. So again, you got Leicester City versus Roma. First game ends up 1-1. And then the second game, Roma was playing at home. Roma seemed to have played it a little bit, their style, making a boring, low-scoring game, effective style.
Right.
And Roma ends up winning 1-0 against Leicester City. To be honest, I had Leicester City advancing. I really thought Leicester City was going to advance.
I would have too.
Yeah. And then you got Feyenoord versus Marseille. First game, Feyenoord wins 3-2. And then on the second leg, Marseille ties with Feyenoord 0-0. It was a scoreless game. So that's how they both got to the finals. Now, just one thing to note, Feyenoord scored 3 goals in both their round of 16 games, in both their quarterfinal games, and then one of the semifinal game.
So 5 out of 6.
Yeah, 5 out of the 6, they scored 3 goals. That, if Mourinho isn't paying attention to that, then I mean, I'm sure he has to be paying attention to it. He has to be, the way he coaches, the way he is, he has to.
Coach like Mourinho, come on.
Exactly. So now this leads me to the championship game, Roma versus Feyenoord. Like I said, I agree with you. I think Roma wins. However, I think the game finishes 1-1 in regular time.
Okay.
And then it goes to overtime. And that's where I think Roma will make the difference. And they win 2-1 in extra time, making themselves the first ever champions of the Conference League.
Listen, what you just said, actually, at the end, that's something that I think sounds so cool. Like, nobody really put respect on the Conference League like that yet. But you know what it is to call yourself the first champion of the Conference League? Like,
you will go down in the history.
Yeah, I don't care what you think of the competition. Like, it's 3rd tier right now. You're still the first champion. Nobody can take that away from you.
Right.
So yeah, that's a good point. That's going to be interesting. I think that makes the game even more intense.
Exactly.
I mean, they already
wants to be in the history books more.
Right. They both obviously want to win, period. They both want to lift the trophy, but thinking about like, I'm the first, I don't know. To me, it'll add a little bit more juice, but
yeah, for sure.
We'll see how it feels.
And of course, the story behind Jose Mourinho being the first ever coach, to win every major tournament in Europe.
In European competitions, yeah. The Champions League, he's won. The Europa League, he's won with United, and now possibly with Rome, the Conference League. You're right. He's already the first coach to make it to those 3 finals, of those 3 tournaments. That's great, but you want to be the winner. I think he says it a lot. He also says it like, nobody remembers second place, nobody remembers the team. So hey, he got to go by his own words. He got to try to win this. He got to try to win this.
Exactly.
Damn, that's very interesting, man. I gotta say, like I said, I didn't really pay much mind to the Conference League this year.
Same.
But everything you just said made me kind of want to watch it next year. Like, that sounds interesting.
Definitely.
Like, forget the names. To me, the biggest thing is what you said. Roma struggling against that Norwegian team 3 times out of 4.
Yep.
Like, yes, they got the big game, the important game, but hey, man,
it shows you Yeah,
It shows you in soccer, anything happens.
I know. That's the
of the
beauty
sport.
of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
I agree.
exactly. So, that's the talk about the Conference League. Now, let's move on to the Europa League final.
Yeah.
Okay, which is Frankfurt versus Rangers.
Yes, sir.
I think Frankfurt wins this game. I feel like the final will be 3-2 in overtime. I think Frankfurt wins. I think in regular time it finishes 2-2. But again, I think Frankfurt wins 3-2 in overtime. However, though,
yeah,
if this game by any chance goes to penalties, I'm gonna have to switch and say that the Rangers win penalties. What do you think?
That's interesting. I mean, I have Frankfurt winning. I also believe they go to extra time. I think the game ends 1-1. For context, by the way, I just realized today's Tuesday, May 17th. The final is tomorrow, Wednesday, May 18th. You guys will be listening to this after the final. We might be wrong. We might be right, but only time will tell. But back to it. I do think it ends 1-1 in regular time. Don't know who scores. I just think it ends 1-1. I do think in extra time, though, I have Frankfurt scoring 3 in total. I do think they win 3-1, though. I don't think Rangers scores again. I think it ends 3-1 Frankfurt after extra time.
Okay.
Going back to your scenario, though, if they go to penalties, I would love to stick with Frankfurt, but I think I'm also going to flip it, and I think I would go with Rangers just because Tavernier doesn't miss penalties. Simple as that. They have a bunch of great penalty takers, and there's one big player that doesn't inspire confidence in me, and I think you know who it is. Santos Borré for Colombia. He has not been that great, and I think that if the penalty shootout comes down to him being the 4th, the 5th, the 3rd, I think he's the one that misses. I think Frankfurt will miss 1 penalty, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And if they miss 1 or 2, I think it'll come from Borré. I think Borré will miss a penalty, and Rangers win if it goes to penalties. If it doesn't, I got Frankfurt winning.
Let's see. That final is going to be insane tomorrow. It's going to be insane.
It's going to be insane. I can't wait to watch it personally. I don't have to work until the game ends, but I'll tell you this. If it goes to extra time or penalties, I won't be able to watch because I will be at work. So hopefully,
I'll keep you updated.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. But honestly, I hope it ends in 90. I hope it ends in 90. Although my prediction is 1-1 in 90. I just don't see it ending in 90 minutes. These two teams, I feel like they're going to come out a little safe, not want to make any mistakes. And then once that first goal comes, all out.
Yeah, things are going to change.
But yeah, let's talk about how they got there, though. Like you said, like you did with Rome and Feyenoord, I think it's only fair. We gave the same respect to Frankfurt and Rangers.
Yeah, for sure.
2 really good teams. Frankfurt, as of now, interestingly enough, as you will find out, they're undefeated. They haven't
that's right.
They haven't lost a game in the Europa League.
Okay? You're right.
They came straight into the Europa League from previous season's results in the Bundesliga. They got matched up in Group D. Their Group D opponents were Olympiacos from Greece, Fenerbahce from Turkey, and Royal Artep. I might be saying that wrong as well.
Antwerp.
Something like that. All I know, Belgium. They ended up winning the group. They had 12 points, 3 wins, 3 draws. They scored 10 goals, allowed 6 plus 4 goal difference. Phenomenal. Because they ended up first place, they don't play the knockout round, the knockout play-in.
The playoffs.
Yeah, playoff knockout.
The playoffs to get into the knockout.
Right, because 32 teams not 32. I think it's like 40. A whole bunch of teams advance, basically. And then you got to knock yourselves out, and then you go to round 16. Since they got first place, they go straight into round 16. They just wait for opponents.
Right.
In the round of 16, they got matched up against Betis, a team that I thought from the start was going to be better than them. I thought they would eliminate them.
Mm-hmm.
They went to Spain. They beat Betis 2-1. Cool. I'm like, you know what? Things happen. Let's see how it goes in Germany. Germany comes 0-0 the whole game. Last minute, Betis score. I'm like, okay, here we go. Game ends 1-1. Frankfurt advance. Cool. All right. Maybe it's their year. Who knows? Maybe they just got lucky. Right, exactly. Because I'm like, the way that happened, that you got scored in the last minute, but then you scored in the last minute of extra time.
Right.
Things happen. Quarterfinals against my team.
Talk about it.
Listen, I did not expect this to happen. I'll be real. I did think Barcelona, especially at that moment, Barcelona was coming off a hot streak. So I was like, Barcelona's going to take it. We go to Germany. We tie 1-1.
Yeah.
Cool. It happens. It was a really good atmosphere. I watched the game. Those German fans, Frankfurt fans, phenomenal. So I was like, 1-1, phenomenal result for Barcelona. We're still on a hot streak. We can do this.
Right.
We come off a high beating Real Madrid 4-0. We're like, yo, we could do this easy.
You just had to say that.
I had to plug that in there. Obviously we beat Napoli, all that. We go to Camp Nou. We're like, 1-1 in the Camp Nou. We got this. We didn't have it. We lost 3-2. And mind you, man, I just say 3-2 with our 2 goals coming at like the 90th and 90 plus minutes. Like it was just make it pretty. But basically from minute 0 to minute 90, we lost 3-0. Last few minutes, we scored a goal and then we got a penalty, whatever. 3-2, we lost. We're eliminated. Frankfurt advanced semifinals. Congrats. I will say this as a Barca fan, as an honest fan, truly deserved to beat us. They were a better team than us. I can't say nothing more than that. Phenomenal job.
I actually wanted to, like, hearing you say all these things, I wanted to ask you, are you really rooting for Frankfurt since they beat Barca, or are you rooting against Frankfurt since they beat Barca?
I mean, if I see it from that light, I'm always going to root for them because I would like to say, hey, man, we got eliminated by Frankfurt, but guess what? Frankfurt won the championship. You know what I mean? Like, we got eliminated by the champs. I don't want to be like, yeah, we got eliminated by Frankfurt and they lost. Like, oh, man. So I am rooting for them because they beat us. I won't lie. But at the same time, I just do feel they're the stronger team. And I will go in more in depth with that a little bit later. But yeah, so they eliminate us. Congrats. Really, really can't say much. They go to semifinals. They play West Ham. This is the one game from the knockout games, though. I will say against Betis, Barca, and West Ham. This is the one game I expected them to win. Like the one tie, sorry. I expected them to win. Like West Ham, good team, strong team. But after what I saw from Frankfurt, I was like, there's no way West Ham beat them. Like respect to West Ham, props, but no. And West Ham had thrown all their eggs in the Europa League basket. Like they kind of gave up their Champions League hopes and the Europa League hopes in the BPL a long time ago because they realized they were going far.
Right.
I don't think it was the right idea, but whatever. They did what they did. Frankfurt goes to England. Always a tough place to start. They win 2-1. I'm like, all right, cool. Interesting second game coming up in Germany. I know how Germany is now that I've seen it. They win 1-0 as well. So they win 3-1 in aggregate convincingly, I will say, because I watched the games.
Yeah.
Never at one moment did I say, oh, West Ham may come back. Congrats. They're in the final. One thing that stood out to me, though, I will say, I remember I told you that they scored 10 goals in the first 6 matches in the group. That's all they scored.
Right.
Between playing Betis, between playing Barcelona, and between playing West Ham in also 6 games, but knockout games, they also scored 10 goals.
Right. Yeah.
So it shows kind of consistency. It shows like, they're not thing to be fooling around with. Like they're for real.
Yeah.
So that's one side of the final. The other side, Rangers from Glasgow, from Scotland. They finished second in their group. They finished second. They were in Group A. They had Lyon, who dominated. They won 5 games, tied 1. They also had Sparta Prague, and they had Brøndby. They ended up second. They had 8 points. They won 2, drew 2, lost 2. Only scored 6 goals, allowed 5. Not the best. Whatever. Yeah. Because they ended up second, they had to play the knockout round playoff.
Right.
Which is, like all the teams, and then you see who goes to round 16. It didn't start easy, man. They played Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund, one of the powerhouses of Europe, one of the best teams in the world, second best team in Germany. I thought Dortmund was going to eliminate them. I was like, all right, cool. This is Dortmund's.
I thought Dortmund was going to be the champion. I thought my final was Barca versus Borussia.
Yeah, same here. As soon as Barca dropped, I was like, all right, Barca, Dortmund. I see nobody else. Rangers took that personally. They heard what I said, and they pulled that Michael Jordan. They said, and I took that personally. They beat them 4-2 in Germany, which is no easy feat.
Yeah, that's
no. And then they went to Scotland. They tied 2-2. Phenomenal. One knockout round, 2 games, 6 goals. 6 games in the group stage, 6 goals. They stepped up when they needed
as well.
Mm-hmm. Then round 16, they play a team called FC Zverna. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher that. It's Zervena Zevda. I'm probably super said that wrong. Any fans that might know, please let me know how to say it because I apologize. They go to Scotland. They start off there. They win 3-1. 3-0, sorry, 3-0. Then they go away. They lose 2-1. Keep that in mind. Remember that. They lose 2-1.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals, they play Braga. A really strong team that at that point I was like, yo, this could be an underdog. They start in Portugal. They lose 1-0 in Portugal. But they come back home, take care of business. They win 3-1. They go play semifinals against RB Leipzig. To me, at that point, from the 4 teams left, Frankfurt, West Ham, Rangers, Leipzig. To me, Leipzig was going to be champs. To me. They go to Germany. Start off hot. Leipzig win 1-0. Phenomenal. My prediction so far is right. Let's keep going. They go to Scotland. Rangers win 3-1. Rangers are in the final.
Wow.
But keep that trend going. Keep that trend in mind. Sorry. They lost away to the team that I'm going to butcher. FC Crvena Zvezda. Sorry. But they lost away 2-1.
Okay.
And they go play Braga. They lose 1-0 away. Then they go to Leipzig. They also lose 1-0 away. So what this tells me, this is a team, for me personally, this is a team that's very comfortable in their home setting, like most teams are. But could that be a disadvantage? Can they be too comfortable at home to the point where it's like any type of hostility, like Barca faced against Frankfurt, too much for them? They can't do it. So I think that's going to be something that we got to keep an eye on tomorrow in the final. Like how many fans from each club will be there? How's the atmosphere? Is Frankfurt winning the atmosphere? Because they are. I think Rangers might maybe shell up. If Rangers are winning it, be careful, Frankfurt. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's how they got there. I will stick to my prediction. I think Frankfurt wins the Europa League. But I do think they end 1-1. And then Frankfurt wins in extra time 3-1.
Okay.
And like I said, maybe if they go to penalties, I'll go with Rangers. Who knows? But yeah, those are our predictions for the Europa League. I'm glad we agreed, just like we agreed on the Conference League. But now that we talked about the Conference League, now that we talked about the Europa League, it's time for the big boy. It's time for the big boy. And this Champions League final is a little bit more special to you than to most people. Why? Because as people can see, you're wearing that Real Madrid jersey, which is making me want to throw up. But hey, that's besides the point. But what they might not know, and maybe they'll find out eventually, you support a certain team in England, and that certain team is playing Real Madrid in the final. Would you care to let us know who we're talking about here, Mr. J?
You'll never walk alone. Liverpool. I love that team. Yeah. That is my team. So, yeah, final. Liverpool, Real Madrid.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm going to go ahead and talk about, even though I have this Real Madrid jersey on, I'm going to talk about the road to the final for Liverpool.
Fair enough.
I'll leave the Real Madrid talking for you.
Of course.
So Liverpool started off this Champions League pretty much, when they started doing the little raffle for the groups. And right from the beginning, these guys went into the group of death. Okay. Now, this group of death, which was Liverpool, Milan, Porto, and Atletico Madrid, these 4 teams, I think, have been the toughest group of death that I have seen in the past 6 seasons of the Champions League. All right. So you got the group of death of the 2017-2018 season, which was Real Madrid, Tottenham, Borussia Dortmund, and Apoel. Okay. Wow. You look at those 4 teams and you could kind of see how one team is obviously the weakest one, obviously, right? In Apoel. And again, not to offend those fans, but you look at the 4 teams and you're like, oh yeah, this team's not making it, right? So you go to the group of death from 2018, 2019, you got Barcelona, you got Tottenham again, you got PSV, and you got Inter Milan. Now, this one is also very, very tough because PSV is no bad team. However, you look at the 4 teams again, and you have a clear option of that one team that's like, okay, you're not making it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is PSV. Then you go to the group of death of 2019-2020. You got Slavia Prague, you got Inter again, you got Barcelona again, and you got Borussia Dortmund. Again, same thing. Group of death, but you have that one team that's just, you look at it and you're like, this team's not going to make it. Right. And then you go to last year's group of death of 2020 and 2021, which is PSG, Manchester City, Red Bull Leipzig, and you got Club Brugge, right? Again, tough group, but you just can't. You look at one team and you're like, this team's not gonna make it. It's like that obvious choice in Club Brugge, right? But you got this season's group of death, which, like I said, all four. You got Milan, which is arguably, a top three best team in Italy. Okay, you could argue between Milan, between Inter, between Juventus, between Napoli, between Roma, which is in the final, right? You got those top five teams, and you could argue that Milan is the best team there, right?
I mean, Milan is about to probably win the league, and that was the season. So
exactly, you got another team in Porto, which is it. They are the best team in Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nobody else besides Porto and Benfica, but Porto has been dominating Portugal for the past decade and a half.
Didn't they just win the championship?
So exactly. Yeah, exactly. They just won the championship. And I think they won the cup as well, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I don't know. All right. So you got that team, right? The best team in Portugal, arguably the best team in Italy. And you got Atletico Madrid, which they are no easy team either. They are one of the best teams in Spain, let alone not just Spain, but obviously around the world. Yeah. Okay. You look at that team and you're like, okay, they're dangerous. Okay. And they're just coming off last season winning the league. So again, they're going to come in here motivated, right? Try to win some games, try to advance from this group. All right. And you got Liverpool over here trying to compete in every single tournament. And these guys come out here and they showcase how good they're going to be this season in the Champions League. These guys come out a perfect 6-0 to win their group. They won all 6 games. I can't remember the last time in a group of death that a team dominated and won all 6 games. So in the last 5 seasons in the group of death, no team has gone undefeated except Liverpool. And this is not arguably, this is the toughest group of death in the last 5 seasons, at least. Okay, minimum.
Yeah.
So these guys go, dude. It's insane. When I saw that, these guys going a perfect 6-0, it's like, whoa, these tough. Guys are dominating. Okay, and they're not just dominating no little teams. These are big teams. Okay, so let's go a little bit more into depth, right? So they started off their Champions League campaign going up against Milan at home. They were at home. They won that game 3-2. Okay. Yeah, even though they didn't start off the way they wanted, or a teammate, one of their own players didn't start the score. It was an own goal by Milan, by Tomori. But still, own goal doesn't matter. You'll take it.
Of course.
Right. So you got Tomori scoring an own goal. You got Mohamed Salah scoring another one. And you got your captain, Henderson, scoring another one. Okay. So that's 3-2 right there. Okay. So now they have to go away to Portugal to play Porto in the Estadio do Dragão, which is no easy stadium to play in. All right.
Yep.
These guys completely demolished. They demolished Porto 5-1. Okay, 5-1. That is not easy to do over there. They completely dominated. I can genuinely tell you that the last time that I saw Porto get dominated in their stadium was when Manchester United, with Ronaldo there, played them in their stadium, and Ronaldo scored that banger.
Yeah,
that's what Liverpool did. Okay, it was 2 goals by Salah. Okay, Salah had a brace. You got 1 goal by Bobby, and you got another brace by Sadio. Okay. Then you go for the third game, another away game, which is even harder, an even harder stadium to go play at, which is Atletico Madrid in Spain.
Yep.
All right. So you go to Atletico and you're like, okay, maybe they might settle for a tie. They might even lose. Atletico could get away maybe towards the end and maybe sneak something up and lose, right? Because Simeone is a genius. What happens? Nope. Liverpool wins 3-2 again. Another brace by Salah. Okay. One was a penalty. And the third one was by Keita. Okay. So now you start off the second round of the group stage, right? The second leg, you started off against Atletico Madrid at home. That one was easy. 2-0, right? Goes by Jota and goes by Sadio Mane. Then the same thing. You wait for Porto to come to your stadium, to Anfield. Another clean sheet, another 2-0. Okay. Goal by Thiago and goal by Salah. Okay. And then you finish off the group stage going to the San Siro, which again is no easy stadium. These three away stadiums that they had to go play at are tough.
Very tough. Very, very tough.
Yeah. So they had to go to the San Siro to play against Milan. What happens? They win 2-1. Okay. Another goal by Salah and a goal by Origi. Origi is like their super sub.
Yeah.
Okay. Origi, every time he comes in, he somehow finds a way to score. Usually late in the game. It's always.
Us Barcelona fans know that way too well.
Right. Exactly. Right. So that game finishes 2-1. Okay. Making it a complete 6-0 victory.
Wow.
6-0. Okay. So you got 6 wins, no draws, no losses. Okay. They had 17 goals in favor, 6 goals against, making it a difference of 11 goals. Right. They finished with, obviously, perfect record. They finished with 18 points. Okay. So now you go on to the round of 16. So now in the round of 16, I don't know how many teams have had this happen to them, but the last team that you played in the group stage, you practically stayed in that city because you had to play in that stadium again against the other team that plays in that stadium.
Against Inter?
They had to play against Inter. Yeah. Yeah. They drew them for the round of 16 and the first game was away again. So they had to go to Inter. All right. Which again, arguably one of the best Italian teams.
Yeah.
What happens? Another clean sheet, 2-0 for Liverpool. So now we move into the round of 16, right? Which I don't know how many teams this happened to, but you got Liverpool who played in the last game of the group stage in this stadium. They had to go to the round of 16 and play in that same stadium.
Inter.
Exactly.
Wow.
So they had to play against Inter, right? First game, they had to go there. Now, again, arguably one of the best teams in Italy, right? So they go to Inter, they go back to the San Siro. What happens? Again, another clean sheet, right? They win 2-0. Goes by Bobby and by Salah. For those of you that don't know why I'm saying Bobby, okay, me and Robert Firmino, we're kind of on a first name basis. Okay, this is my guy. This is my forward. Okay, he's up there. So obviously he calls me Jay. I call him Bobby. Haters will hate. It is what it is. All right. So
your boy Bobby.
That's right. So you got goals by Bobby and Salah. Okay. Now you go to the second leg, right? All up to this game, they're undefeated. I mean, no draws, no losses, nothing. They are a perfect 7-0. Okay. Right? 7-0. Now they play at home. And again, these guys are playing home. You're like, easy. This is probably going to be another W. Right? If anything, they might draw. If anything. Right? Because Inter's going to come out here to, to attack, to try and beat them. What happens? 1-0. Not for Liverpool, though. For Inter.
That Lautaro golazo. I remember, Yep.
A golazo.
Oh, beauty, yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so they end up winning 1-0. Regardless, at the end of the day, it still wasn't enough.
Right.
The game, though, it was a close game. Inter was very close of scoring a second goal. I was very close.
I was going to say, if I remember correctly, it was very back and forth, and Inter had the better chances, though.
Yes, it was very tight, a very tight game. But luckily, we were able to stick it out at the end. We advanced in aggregate 2-1. Move on to the quarterfinals. All right. So now, again, I don't know how many teams this happens to.
Yeah.
But in the group stage, they played the best Portuguese team. Now in the quarterfinals, they have to play the second best Portuguese team. All right. In Benfica. So again, and their stadium, Stadio da Luz, is not an easy stadium to go play at. Okay. So they end up going to Benfica the first game, right? The first leg. And again, Liverpool is like dominating. Okay. These guys are dominating. They won 3-1 in that stadium. Okay. Goal by Konate, goal by Sadio Mane, and another goal by Lucho Diaz. All right.
Yeah.
The one goal by Benfica was by Darwin Núñez, which let me tell you, that man,
stud,
bro. I would have loved to see him be the replacement for Haaland. That would have been awesome. That would have been pretty cool.
It's interesting you bring that up. That's something we'll get to later.
Yeah, but we'll get into that later. So you got Nunez scoring for Benfica.
Yeah.
Right. So cool. Game finishes 3-1. They go on to the second leg at home for Liverpool. So you're like, man, this is gonna be another easy game, right? They're gonna advance easily into the semifinals, right? I put money on FanDuel for Liverpool, saying that they were gonna win. All right.
I remember this.
However, I lost that money because Benfica came out and the game finished 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, another home game, just to keep a note, they lose to Inter at home. Now their next home game was against Benfica. They tied 3-3. Right. So that's 2 games in a row at home that they haven't gotten a win.
Right.
All right. So now this 3-3, you got a goal by Konate, 2 goals by Bobby. And that's actually a really cool thing for me to say that Bobby was able to score a brace because both Mane and Salah were in the bench. All right. So it's really cool to know that when you got your 2, big names from that team, that they're in the bench, that you can still rely on that other forward,
right.
And whoever they put in that, okay, yeah, they're going to score, so I think that's something awesome to have in your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So again, 3-3. Now you move on to the semis because in aggregate, these guys moved on 6-4.
Yeah, right.
All right. So now you move on to the semis, which is against Villarreal. To be honest, I completely underestimated Villarreal. I thought this was going to be the easiest game out of the knockout stages. That's what I thought.
For Liverpool?
For Liverpool, yes,
okay.
For Liverpool. Right. So even though they came off eliminating Bayern Munich, and Juve, I was like, you know what? Liverpool is gonna make easy money off these guys. This is gonna be the easiest elimination round for them. Boy, was I wrong. I was wrong. Okay, so the first game starts. They're at home. Liverpool is at home in Anfield, right? So they're home. Game finishes 2-0 in Liverpool's favor. Right, clean sheet. I'm like, perfect. So far, I'm right. I'm a genius. I know everything. I know my team. Right. The goals was an own goal by Estupinian, and the second goal was by Mane.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now they go to Spain, and this game, let me tell you,
what a game
had me sweating on the edge of my seat the whole 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if to go to work early, if to call out of work, if to leave my room, if to go somewhere else. But at the end of the day, I was like, listen, I gotta keep supporting my team because I know we're gonna do it. I don't know how, but we have to do it. All right. Yeah. Game starts. Villarreal is up within the first 30 minutes. They're up 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0. Okay. So now they're tied aggregate 2-2. So I'm already sweating. I'm like, oh my God, we better not lose this game. Right now we're going to overtime, but there's still a lot of time left. First half finishes 2-0. All right. So I'm like, man, Klopp better say something to these guys. He better do something to make this game change. Somehow, at least one goal. All right. One goal is going to require them to score another one. All right. And again, let's remember, for those of you who don't know this, but the away goal doesn't count anymore. All right.
Thank God for that, by the way. I just had to say that. Thank God.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter how many goals you score at home, how many goals you score away. If at the end of the day, if in the aggregate score, it's the same score, you guys are tied, you guys will go to overtime, right? So I see something very interesting happen in the second half. Once the second half starts, Klopp does a substitution, which to me, I think this man has been amazing for the team. Mm-hmm. And not just because he's Colombian, but because this man has been the man.
Yeah.
Okay. In Lucho Diaz. Again, first name basis, right?
Another homie.
Exactly, another homie. So this guy comes in, and I'm not gonna say that it was all him for what happened, but this man came in and he destabilized that defense because he is not afraid to go 1v1 against these guys.
I love that about him. I just gotta say, I love that about him.
This man does not care. Okay. So he came in, and within a span of 15 minutes, we were down 2-0. 2-0. Within a span of 15 minutes, we scored one. We scored a second. We scored a third. 3 goals in 15 minutes. All right. And again, I'm not going to give the full 100% credit to Lucho, but I will say like a good 50% was him, because they did not know what to do with him the second he stepped in that field. They did not know what to do. So you got goals. The first goal was by Fabinho. The second goal was by the man himself, Luis Diaz. And the last goal was by Sadio Mane. All right. 3-2, turn the game around, end up winning, right? To go to the final. That to me was an amazing way to end that series, and to go with a nice, like you could take a step back and be like, okay,
take a deep breath.
We got that out of the way. We were able to to get over this hump, being down 2-0, coming back and scoring 3 goals in the second half alone, and to a Spanish team, and being there and going to the finals. All right. So I think that's a great way to get there, in my opinion.
I mean, one thing I just want to say to that, it's also, I agree with you just because of this. Like you said, they started off the group stage 6-0 against tough teams. It's not like they played, no offense, but weaker teams. They played the champions of Spain, the champions, like obviously current from last season, champions of Italy, and the champions of Portugal. Not easy at all. Okay.
Group of death.
Yeah, the group of death, and they go 6-0. And then and this is what I love about soccer and why I love the Champions League. And then you move on to the knockout rounds, and they, in a way, struggle. They do find a way, but they struggle. I love. And
you know what's funny? You know what's funny? They struggled more at home than away.
And Anfield is a fortress, man.
Yes. I'm telling you, when they played away, they played better. They went undefeated away.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you come home, they had a loss and a draw.
Damn.
So that's tough. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, that's the road to the final for Liverpool. Now, take it away. Talk about my team.
Real Madrid made the final. Congratulations. I'm done. Listen, yes, big Real Madrid hater here. I'll admit it. But like I said, just like I said about Mourinho, you got to give respect and you got to give credit when it's due. Madrid, the one thing I admire about them and I do respect is that even when you think they're out, even when you think they're dead, that's it, there's no shot, they find a way. And this group stage, more than anything, I'm sorry, not the group stage, these knockout rounds more than anything prove that. Starting off, group stage, right? Let's go where it all started. Group D, Madrid win Group D, right? They get 15 points. They win 5 games. They lose 1. Inter, Shakhtar, and it was FC Sheriff. 5 wins, 1 L.
Easy. And the loss was to Inter.
That's what you would think. Let me tell you, it wasn't to Inter. It wasn't to Shakhtar. It was to FC Sheriff. And that's not the craziest part to me, though.
That's insane.
The craziest part to me was that they lost at home to FC Sheriff. You know what I mean? Like that to me is a shock.
That's crazy.
If you were to tell me, hey, they lost away when they had already won 5 games, they clinched the group. All right, fine. No. This was the middle of the group stage at home to a team that, again, for me, no offense to any FC Sheriffs the fans out there, never heard of this team.
It was the second game.
Yeah, and they beat them 2-1. They beat them 2-1. That's when I was like, okay, this is not Madrid's year. I gotta learn how to pick my words more carefully. They score 14 goals in the group stage. They allow only 3. 2 of those to FC Sheriff because they lost 2-1 at home, right? Which is insane to me. The other goal was not by Inter either. It was by Shakhtar Donetsk. So that's even more interesting. But anyways,
so they had 4 clean sheets.
They had 4 clean sheets. Yeah, they had 4 clean sheets. Moving on, they go to round 16. Starts off for me, a Barcelona fan, in the best way possible. They're playing PSG, the team that on paper is the best team in the world, right? You look at the lineup and you're like, yo, there's no weaknesses. You have the attacking trio of dreams, Messi, Mbappe, Neymar. You're just like, how did they lose? They're not going to lose.
Yeah.
Starts off well. They go to Paris. PSG honestly is on top of them. PSG should be scoring more than they did. They get unlucky. Messi misses a penalty. We move right on.
Thank God.
Mbappe scored. Well, let's be fair. Messi didn't miss a penalty. Courtois saved Messi's penalty. We got to give credit to Courtois.
Yes, exactly.
I gotta say, like I said, I give credit when it's
due. Look at you turning on Messi.
Hey, whoa, never that.
I love it.
Never that. That's the GOAT right there. As you can see.
Oh my God.
That's the GOAT.
Let me guess. You feel bad, so that's why you have that ugly jersey on.
Absolutely not.
What name do you have in the back?
The GOAT himself.
I know.
Come on now. Of course. But anyways, yeah. I gotta.
You know what I think of that?
Yeah. That's exactly how I feel about that jersey too. Exactly. But even before the penalty and after the penalty, honestly, PSG should just scored more. And again, because of Courtois, they didn't.
Yep.
At the end of the day, though, Mbappe scores a last minute, I think 93, 94th minute. Winner. Phenomenal goal, though. The way he got through two defenders and then put it between Courtois' legs. Phenomenal goal.
I was so sad.
I was so happy. I was like, yes, PSG, let's go. We're going to Madrid. You know, Mbappe scores first half. I'm like, 2-0. It's over. That's it. Madrid's out. There's no way PSG choked this, right? Donnarumma, Marquinhos said, chill. I'm still here. Donnarumma chokes. Marquinhos chokes. I've never seen Marquinhos make mistakes like he did in that game, but he made them anyways. Donnarumma, terrible with the ball at his feet. Donnarumma made a terrible mistake. Marquinhos made a terrible mistake twice. Benzema said, don't give me those chances. I'll score them. And he did. Hat trick. Madrid eliminates PSG 3-2. All right, cool, fine, whatever. In my eyes, obviously, I was like, they got lucky. They're lucky Donnarumma is not Ter Stegen that can play with his feet. Whatever. We move on. Quarterfinals against Chelsea. I've never thought Chelsea was the strongest team, but again, respect is due because they are the reigning champs. They're the defending champs. So I'm like, you know what? To me, are they the strongest team? No. But I must give them the respect. So I was like, come on, Chelsea, you can do this. Real Madrid win 3-1 at Chelsea in London. They win 3-1. I'm like, what?
I wasn't expecting that.
Me either. I mean, I expected a tight game, but I did not expect a 3-1 win.
Yep.
But yeah, point at the end of the day, Benzema, another hat trick. 2 goals were beautiful. The last one was a terrible mistake by Mendy and Rudiger. That if one of you wants to see it, just look it up on YouTube and you will find it. It is a terrible mistake. But again, Benzema, you can't give him these opportunities. Not in the way that he's playing right now. Scored another hat trick. They win 3-1. They go to Madrid. This is the first time I'm like, that's it. The tie is over. Chelsea can't come back. They start off hot. They scored 2 goals. One in the first half, one in the second half, very early. So I was like, oh my God, Chelsea can do this. Come on, let's go. 3-3 aggregate. Alonso scores a third, but it was ruled off. It bounced off his hand. Referee called handball, whatever. I'm like, okay.
I was like, thank God we got lucky.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's Champions League. Madrid got it. Nah. 15 minutes to go. Werner said, I got this. Scored probably the best goal I've seen him score for Chelsea. Beautiful goal. A little lucky at the end, but very, very good goal. I'm like, Chelsea did it. There's 15 minutes to go. You can hold on. Chelsea is known for their defending. Please hold on. 15 minutes plus stoppage time, please. It didn't last 5 minutes. Rodrigo's tied within 5 minutes. The aggregate. You guys were losing 3-1, but the aggregate is tied 4-4. I'm like, oh my God. It goes to extra time. I'm like, okay, fine. A fresh 30. Come on, Chelsea, get your heads in the game. Let's do this. That's not what happened. Benzema says, yo, you know where I'm on right now? You know the high I'm on right now? I got this. Scores the goal. I wouldn't say the game-winning goal. I'll say the tie-winning goal because you guys did lose the game 3-2.
Right.
But you won the tie, which is all that matters. You won the tie 5-4. You advance. You go to semifinals. 2 where I seriously thought, I said, all right, that's it. The Bucks, like, it ends here. Like, you're not beating City. City was on fire. To me, City, the best team in the world. I was like, City's going to dominate. Let's go. And it looked like that for a very long time when you guys were playing in Manchester.
I'm not going to lie. Okay. History tells me that Manchester City, they choke all the time. So in my head, I'm like, look, I was more scared of Chelsea than Manchester City. I was like, I'm all for it. I'm glad we had to play the chokers of Manchester City. But the second that first game started, I was like,
got to change your mind a little bit.
Oh my God. Oh,
City started off hot, man. I think City scored twice in like 10 minutes it was. It was phenomenal. KDB and Gabriel Jesus. I don't remember how much time, but I know it was less than 15 minutes. They went off, and I was like, City's gonna dominate. City's gonna kill these guys. Let's go. It really didn't go that way. Benzema scores 2-1. Cool. Then we go Foden in the second half. First half, Mars and Foden should have made it 4-1. They didn't. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the second half starts off hot with Foden redeeming himself 3-1. Let's go. Then 3-2, Vinicius with a beautiful goal that reminded me of Bale versus Bartra. Gave me
Would you
nightmares.
like to talk about
anyways, there's only one goal I'm gonna talk about in this game, and I'm coming to it. Bernardo Silva scores a screamer, 4-2. I'm like, cool. It should be more, but the first leg is over. Let's go pack it up. Let's go City. I think minute 80-ish. It was late in the 80s or early in the 80s. Penalty for Real Madrid. I'm like, all right, you know what? It's fine. Like, all you gotta do is stop it. The goalie had no chance. Ederson had no chance. Listen, like I said, I haven't talked about any goal in specific. Period. I have to talk about this goal because listen, you're down 4-2. You're playing away in a semi-final of the competition that your club prioritizes. Real Madrid, yes, they want to win La Liga. Yes, they want to win the cup in Spain. But if they lose both and they win the Champions League, it's a successful season for them. Like, I promise you, if you guys lose the Champions League, they're still going to be like, it wasn't as successful as we want, even though you won La Liga by a convincing amount. They'll be like, it could have been better. You guys prioritize this competition so much. And you're losing by 2 goals in Manchester. It's probably your last chance at the game.
Yep.
Your top goal scorer comes to the penalty spot. Referee blows that whistle. What does he do? Panenka penalty? He chips it down the middle. What?
Zidane style.
Better than because Zidane's penalty in the World Cup, at least it hit the crossbar. Benzema.
Benzema, but I'm saying to have the ice on. Oh my god,
it was cold blooded. I was like, "Come on, Andrezinho, you got this." And then I was like, "Huh?" At that moment, I said, "I mean, to me, always was gonna do it, but at that moment, I was like, yeah, just give this man the Ballon d'Or right now. Just don't even wait till December. Just give it to him right now." I just wanted to point that out there because to me, it might not be the prettiest goal for some people. Like, yeah, there were prettier goals. Arguably, Vinicius' goal in that game was better, but to me, it's like the moment. You're minute 80 something. You're down 2 goals away in a Champions League semifinal, and you have I'm gonna just say it, you have the balls to chip the goalkeeper down the middle of Panenka. You missed that. City's probably advancing.
Yeah,
but instead you score. Just props to Benzema. Yep. Game ends like that, 4-3. Phenomenal game. Arguably, to me, the best game I've seen in a really long time, especially Champions League wise.
Yeah, I agree.
It was phenomenal from start to finish. Like, it was one of those games where you're just like, as a neutral, like me, like, yes, I want Real Madrid to lose, but as a neutral in the sense like, whoever wins loses, I don't have that much of an effect because it's not Barca. Right. It was a phenomenal game to watch. You're just there, like, enjoying it, seeing both teams all out attack, seeing both teams pass the ball, move the ball, go defend, go shoot. The Panenka, it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal game.
Now imagine me, a Real Madrid fan, watching that.
I was actually going to ask you, how did you feel?
Yeah, even though we lost the game, I felt a little bit at ease because in my head, I'm like, look, we got to go home and play these guys.
Right.
At home, we could take care of business. Still though, at the back of my head, I'm like, still Manchester City.
You see, to me, it was backwards. To me, it was, I was said, yes, it's only a 1 goal difference, but if City score first, which we'll get to, City's going to wrap it up. But in the back of my head, I'm like, never count Real Madrid out. Like, just don't do it to yourself, man. Like, what Real Madrid could do in this cup. And let me tell you, they proved me right. Unfortunately, they proved me right because they go to Madrid, like you said. They play kind of, I wouldn't say boring game. It's just not as intense as the first one, which I understood. Yeah. No team wanted to make that mistake because they knew 1 goal can make a big difference. They were kind of cautious. Yeah, they're like, you know what? We get the chance. We're going to go for it. If not, we have no problem keeping the ball. It takes up till, I think, the 75th minute, 70-ish minute. Mars, beautiful goal. I'm like, that's it. Game's over. 5-3. Man City, you can wrap this up. Let's go. 90th minute, Rodrigo 1-1. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, there's no way they score again, right? Stoppage time was what, 6 minutes? There's no way they score again in 6 minutes, right? Please. 2 minutes later, Rodrigo says, let's tie this game up. They tie it up. It's going extra time. I'm like, great, here we go. My worst fears have come true. We go into extra time. Very early in extra time, I think within the first 5 minutes, Real Madrid get a penalty. I'm like, oh my God. Of course,
No,
Benzema, he doesn't Panenka hit this time, but he just places it beautifully.
Imagine.
If he Panenka it again, I'm like, that's it. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm done. Placed it beautifully. You guys are up. I'm like, okay, it's still early. Man City has the style of play that they could come back from this, right? It never happened. It never happened. Real Madrid advanced. They went on aggregate 6-5. Phenomenal series. Game 1 was better than game 2, but overall phenomenal series. And unfortunately, Real Madrid made the final of the Champions League.
Listen,
Again.
Manchester City choked the way only they know how to.
That's you know what? That's
That's it,
accurate. But I will say this, as accurate as that is, because I did say that too. It's one of my friends is actually a Man City fan, really hard. And I
Oh,
would
that
tell him like,
sucks.
I tell him like, oh, I'm sorry, but you guys just choke too much. And it could be Pep chasing perfection. It could be the players don't have the mentality. It could be many things, but it is just a thing. Man City does choke. I'm sorry, but I will say this. Besides that fact, I just want to talk about Benzema for 1 minute. We're talking about a cat, right? Who has 15 goals in this edition of the Champions League. Out of those 15, 10 have come in the games that it matters, the knockout
That's
round.
insane.
10 goals out of the 15 he scored against Man City, Chelsea, PSG. That's ridiculous to me. That not many players do that, man.
No.
Like you're scoring against 3 of the best teams in the world 10 times. Yes, over 6 games. But same thing. Over 6 games, you only scored 5 in the group. So,
Yep.
you know, those 10 goals in knockout rounds, he has tied Cristiano Ronaldo's record. Some bum named Cristiano Ronaldo. He tied his record.
How dare you?
He tied his record for most knockout goals in one season. I'm pretty sure the final counts obviously as a knockout game.
Yeah,
Right.
the final counts.
So I assume if he scores, which I do think he will in the final, he'll break that record.
I don't know how to feel about that.
That's also significant because he has, like I said, he has 15 goals all over in general. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's 2 away from tying Ronaldo's record. So if he gets a brace in the final, he's going to tie that record. He's going to tie that record. And honestly, I could see him getting the brace, which
So,
no, you know.
So in other words, you want me to buy you a Benzema Real Madrid jersey?
Absolutely not. Don't you ever do that. I mean, you could do it.
No.
You could do it. I'll use
That's
it to
the
clean my
conclusion
car. I could use it to clean my car. I could use it to
you
build
are
some nice
sounding
little
like a
fire.
Real Madrid fan right now.
No,
which I love. I'm loving it.
Hey, listen. I'll tell you this, and you know this. As much as I hate Real Madrid, there are 3 players in the current squad that I can never hate: Marcelo, Modric, Benzema. I love those players. Like those are players
I can see that
they could play for whatever club, and I love them. Marcelo, because he's just disgustingly good, and he's a good guy. Like from what I see, obviously I've never met the guy, but from what you see and like online and how he talks, he's a good guy, and he's he's phenomenal. And one thing I love about him, Real Madrid and Barca, I can't say just Real Madrid. They talk a lot of smack to each other.
Of course,
it's normal. It's a rivalry. It's the biggest rivalry. Marcelo always for most of his career he had to defend Messi. He had the chance to talk a lot of bad things about Messi, not once. Always praising him. Love that about him. Modric, same thing. Humble, phenomenal player. One of the best midfielders of this generation. Still not better than
36,
37, I think.
That's insane.
Still not better than Iniesta or Xavi, I will say that, but he's a very, very good midfielder.
He definitely runs more than both of them combined. I could tell you that.
I don't know about that. Iniesta used to run a lot. Xavi, sure. Iniesta, I don't know, man. Benzema.
Just give me the run.
Benzema.
Let Iniesta and Xavi have
I'll give you
everything
this.
else.
I'll give you Modric has more hair than Iniesta. How about that? Fair?
No,
fair?
Not fair.
It's
not
true,
fair.
though.
I'll tell you what. All right, fine. You know what? Say all of that. At the end of the day, Modric still has a Ballon d'Or.
Undeservedly so, but anyways.
Hey, whatever. Whatever.
But speaking of Ballon d'Ors, that brings me to my final point. All this to say, Benzema, a player who I truly do love, and you know this because when Benzema, Ronaldo, and Bale started, I always said Benzema's my guy. Like, yes, I know you're a Ronaldo guy. Bale, I always loved as well, but to me, Benzema was the guy that nobody really respected. Understandably so, Ronaldo was at that time the second best player in the world, and Bale was coming up.
The main.
No, he was the second best player in the world, and Bale was coming up as probably his successor. Although we know how that happened, how that ended up. I will say this: I think, but Benzema, without a shadow of a doubt, deserves a Ballon d'Or. Like I think KDB It's a very close second. Don't get me wrong, like very close. Like, but KDB could fight him for it. But at the end of the day, you can't take it away from Benzema. Benzema this year has to get the Ballon d'Or. With or without the Champions League, I will say whether Real Madrid will win or not, I say Benzema Ballon d'Or. That's me though.
Look, and I'm not just gonna say this because people say that I look like Karim Benzema, that I look like his little brother with this jersey on.
Where?
But I'm gonna have to agree with you. I do think Karim is the best player in the world right now, and he 100% deserves that Ballon d'Or for sure. My big brother deserves that Ballon d'Or.
Yep, I agree. I mean, there's like I said, I think KDB is a very good close second, but just not enough. I would say this: if Man City eliminated Real Madrid, that's where I'm like, oh,
yeah,
can KDB do it? I still don't think he would, but it's like I wouldn't be mad if that happened. But
yeah,
at this
but
point,
then who would you give it to then? Like, let's say Real Madrid would have been eliminated in the semifinals.
No, that's what I'm saying. To me, Benzema still wins it.
Oh, okay.
But if KDB, because Man City won, KDB would get it, I wouldn't be upset about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, you know what? KDB is the reason to me why City's where they are. But Benzema is just like the way I think about Ballon d'Or is take that player out of the team. How do they play? Right. Perfect example, Barca, Real Madrid. I know you guys had a healthy lead, but who wants to lose a Clásico, especially at home? Nobody. You guys played without Benzema. You guys got smacked 4-0.
Okay, all right.
I can promise you, as a Barca fan, with Benzema, I still think we would have won because you guys looked off that day, but it wouldn't have been 4-0. It would not have been 4-0. It would have been 4-1. Anyways, and then you take KDB out of City, and I see a completely different team. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not KDB's not perfect. There's days where KDB's not on his game, but when he's on his game, he's untouchable. So, to me,
that's true.
If City would have won, I understand the KDB argument, but regardless, to me, without a shadow of doubt, Benzema Ballon d'Or.
All right. But so
with all that, we talked about Benzema. We talked about Salah.
Yeah.
Let's dive a little deeper. I want you, since you're doing Liverpool, I want you to give me 2 players that are key for Liverpool to win the Champions League. Go.
Ooh. And you said not including
Not Salah. It cannot be Salah.
All right. So obviously, you eliminating that guy from me. Obviously, Mohamed Salah would be the main guy for me.
Right.
But like you said, eliminating him, the guy doesn't exist. Don't know who he is. 2 other key players, I would have to go with. All right. I got it. I would have to go with Sadio Mane.
Understandable.
And I would have to go with Virgil van Dijk. Now,
not bad.
I'm not just saying this because one of them is offense and the other one is defense, but in other words, I'm saying this because one of them is offense and the other one is defense. Okay. All right. So when Mohamed Salah doesn't play, Sadio Mane steps up in a very big way to the point that whenever he doesn't play, he scores every single time. If you go back to him now, I don't know if you knew this, but in the semifinals and in the quarterfinals, Sadio Mane didn't score a single goal.
Sadio Mane.
I'm sorry. Salah didn't score a single goal.
I was about to say, I remember you said Sadio Mane scored.
No, my fault. Salah in the semifinals and in the quarterfinals,
against who?
Mohamed Salah didn't score.
That was Villarreal and Benfica.
Both games against Villarreal and both games against Benfica. He did not score.
Okay.
All right. And then you got the second leg of the round of 16, which they lost to Inter Milan at home.
Yes.
Obviously, it was 1-0. So he didn't score that game either. Nobody scored. So you got Mohamed Salah pretty much not making a huge impact in terms of scoring goals from the second leg of the round of 16. So that's 5 games that he has not scored a single goal. Okay. So now
that's interesting.
It is. So now from those 5 games, again, the first game they lost to Inter, but both games from Benfica, you got Mane scoring in the first game. Okay. In the second game, Mane didn't score. Why? Because he was in the bench. Okay. Oh. But then you go to both games in Villarreal, Mane scored at home against Villarreal.
Yeah.
You go to Spain, what happens? Mane scores against Villarreal there again.
The game winner too, right?
The game winner, the third goal. Exactly. Yeah. So to me, it is a no-brainer that Sadio Mane is a key player when Mohamed Salah is not on the pitch.
That's fair.
Okay. This man always steps up, always scores goals when he's not on there. Okay. So that's why he is one of my key players. My other key player in Van Dijk is because he is one of the greatest, or actually, I think right now he is the best defender in the world, the best center back.
Agree.
All right. Perfect. We both agree. Okay. I think he is going to be that other key player because, again, you got Real Madrid, who right now, in both our opinions, they have the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. In Benzema.
Yeah.
So Liverpool has to have Virgil van Dijk at his best in order to stop that man.
Benzema at his best. Yeah.
So that's why he is 100% going to be that other key player. All right. Because without Virgil back there, I'm pretty sure you got Rodrigo, you got Vinicius, and you got Benzema on top of that. Okay. They're going to demolish them. So if Virgil van Dijk is on his A game, keeping that defense online, communicating with them, keeping it on check, they have a chance of winning that game. Okay. So that is why that man is my other key player.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, Sadio Mane and Van Dijk are my two key players. Now I would like to return that question to you because I really like that a lot. I'm curious to think, who are your key players besides Karim Benzema?
Right.
Who would you pick as your other two key players?
I'll say this. The first one that comes to my mind is a player that I'll admit I've always said is overrated, and I still think is overrated, but this season he stepped up.
Okay.
And that's Vinicius Jr.
My man.
I think he's a very fast, very skillful player. Like a Brazilian, your typical Brazilian winger. Fast, agile, skillful. Pull off any trick in the book. However, for my liking, he is not that great with his final decision. Sometimes he passes when he should shoot. Sometimes he shoots when he should pass. When he shoots, it's always inaccurate. It's soft. Yeah. It's too strong. It hits the post. It goes too wide. It's a whole bunch of things.
Right. I must say he is getting better, though. This season, he's gotten better.
I was going to say this season, though, clearly, because I think I saw a stat. I believe I might be wrong. I might be inaccurate. I don't have it with me right now. But there's something about he's all competitions, obviously, but combined goals and assists, he's had 40 or 41 goal contributions, which is insane. Nice. Like, don't get me wrong. It's nothing like 40 is something that Ronaldo and Messi used to do alone in goals. I understand that.
Yeah.
But like I said, for a player who honestly struggles, the good old days, a player who struggles with this final decision making to this season improve to 40 plus goals and assists combined, that's phenomenal. I don't care if it's all competition. That's really good.
Yep.
On that, he is, in this edition of the Champions League, he is tied with Bruno Fernandes from Man City, and he's tied with Leroy Sané from Bayern Munich with 6 assists in the Champions League. Nice. Which is something that I never thought I would be saying about Vinicius, honestly. But that to me is the reason why he's important on the offensive side of the ball. Take that, and now I want to counter it with Liverpool. What I mean by that is Liverpool is known, like you said, they have a rock back there, the best defender in the world, Virgil van Dijk. So they could afford to play the way they want to play. Andrew Robertson on the left, Trent Alexander on the right. Don't worry too much about defending. Get up there, send me those crosses, switch the field,
right? Generate
our play. Vinicius is so dangerous with his speed, with his skills, and with his ability on a counterattack that I want to know. I wish I could be in the locker room and hearing Jurgen Klopp, because I really am interested to know, does that change his style of play at all? Does he tell Trent, hey, you know what, maybe this game, don't go so far up. Maybe pay a little bit more mind to Vinny. Or does he double him? Does he maybe say, hey, Fabinho or whoever's on the right side of midfield, maybe it's Thiago. I doubt Thiago. Thiago doesn't defend as much.
Keita.
It could be Keita. It could be Hendo if he plays, whoever. Like, hey, help out Trent. Let Trent push up. You cover Vinny a little bit more, right? I'm very interested to see what he does with that.
Okay.
Because of the threat. Like, as a coach, I would think about that. Like, all right, yeah, I know I love to push Trent up, but I can't say, hey, forget Vinny. He ain't gonna do nothing. We know he's gonna do something. He's gonna get a chance, at least one. So it's one of those where it's like I'm so interested in Vinny as a key player because not only what he provides offensively, but what he makes the other team think about. Like you have to stop him. You have to. Like I remember the Barcelona game against Real Madrid. Serginho Dest was hurt, so he couldn't play. We had the chance between Dani Alves and Ronald Araujo. Dani Alves, obviously old, but he's a right back. Ronald Araujo, a young center back. What do we do? Yo, you play right back for us. Pocketed Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. didn't do nothing that game. I just had to throw that out there because Araujo is going to be the best defender in the world. But anyways, that alone shows me like Xavi thought
you
about
drinking.
Xavi thought about Vinicius to the point where he's like, I don't want to risk that. Well, Dani Alves, we probably would have had more attack down the right side, right? But he said, I don't need that right now. I need Araujo to stop him, and the rest of my team, Dembele, Ferran, Aubameyang, they'll worry about the attack. It worked for Xavi. Araujo stopped Vinicius, and Dembele, Ferran, and Aubameyang were the ones involved in the goals. Again, what does Klopp do? Because I don't see Klopp doing it. I don't see Klopp going like, hey, Joe Gomez or hey, Virgil, get up. No, I see him sticking with Trent, but I want to know what he does with that. So that's one. The second one, I'm stuck between Courtois and, believe it or not, it might be a shock, but Valverde.
Valverde, so, really?
I'm gonna give you both.
Not Modric?
Not Modric, and I'll explain why. I'm gonna give you both for two very simple reasons. I'm not gonna go too in depth on it because it's a little obvious. Courtois, he's the goalie. Liverpool have, I wouldn't say the best yet, but they have one of the best attacking trios in the world. Whether you however you combine it, we know it's gonna be Salah, Mane. The other one could be Jota. It could be Luis Diaz. It could be however you combine it, they're deadly. Yeah. Courtois is gonna be busy. So if Courtois is on his game, he could save and give Real Madrid the title.
Right.
If he's a little off, Liverpool's gonna score 3-4 on him. Easy. Because that's how Courtois is. Honestly, as good as he's been this season, when he's on, he's on. You can't score more than once. When he's off, though, you're gonna get through him however you want. So it's a big day for him, in my opinion. Valverde, though. The second part of Vinny, but on the other side, Valverde is not your typical winger, obviously. He's a midfielder.
Right.
But Ancelotti likes to throw him out there on the right side. He's not going to stick to the sideline like Vinicius, ask for the ball at his feet, go dribble one-on-one. He's going to be passing, moving, disrupting the play. That disrupting the plays was key to me. Why? Because on the right side that he's playing for Real Madrid, it's the left side of Liverpool. Who's on the left side of Liverpool? Same thing as Trent. Andrew Robertson, who loves to get forward probably a little bit more than Trent. Okay, so that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, and to me more important, Thiago. Valverde is going to be tasked with stopping. If he starts, I do think he starts. It could be Rodrigo and Ancelotti could shock me, but I think it's going to be Valverde. He's going to be tasked with stopping Robertson from pushing up and Thiago from controlling that midfield. Because if you let Thiago control the midfield, it's game over. You're not seeing that ball. Valverde is going to be responsible for that. And I'm really interested to see how that plays out. Because I know Casemiro's probably going to be on one of the attackers, probably Salah, Mane, or whoever the third attacker is. Probably. Modric and Kroos, they're shadow defenders. That's why I call them. Like, they defend because they have to, but they'll never be the type to go press you really hard and win that ball back. Valverde does that. So to me, like I said, Courtois for the saves, and he has to be on his game. But Valverde, man, if he starts like I expect him to, it's no easy task stopping Robertson from pushing up and making sure Thiago's not comfortable on the ball. So I think those are two very important players. I didn't go with Modric for that same reason, because I feel like if Liverpool controls the midfield, Modric is going to be a non-factor in the game. Right. Not because of his skills, because we all know he's one of the best midfielders of this generation, like I said, but Real Madrid just won't have the ball. And without the ball, Modric is not that great. It's simple as that. He's not that great. Now, if Real Madrid have the ball, I could see Modric being important, but I could also see Kroos being important. So I try to avoid both of them, which is why I went with Vinny and then Valverde / Courtois. But that's me. That's who I see. I don't see anything other than a tactical battle right now. That's how I'm seeing it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. And I don't know, man. I really do think those are very important players, apart from the obvious Karim Benzema.
Right. Okay.
But now let me take this one step further. Final step, I promise. We talked about the star players, Salah, Benzema. We talked about the key players, Van Dijk, Mane, Vinny, Valverde, Courtois. Give me an X factor. What I mean by that is it could be a player, it could be the coach, it could be a substitution, it could be a tactic, it could be whatever you want. What do
Okay.
you consider to be an X factor that can help Liverpool overstep Real Madrid in this game?
Okay. Okay. This is a good one. I'm gonna go with a player.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go. All right. This player, I think, has been a great signing.
Yeah.
A great signing, a great winter signing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have, my guy Lucho Diaz.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have many winter signings that go into the team and automatically adapt
And
the
perform.
way that he has adapted. Like this man is playing like if he's been playing for Liverpool for the past 3-4 seasons in club system. Right. And mind you, this man does not know any English. Okay.
Yeah.
So for this guy to be adapting the way he is phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right. So I think he's gonna be that X factor. Why? Because like I said before, this man is not afraid to go 1v1. Okay. And I feel like Klopp is gonna utilize him to, again, he's gonna maybe stop and see what Real Madrid is gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that he can determine who can push up a little bit more of their fullbacks. If Robertson can go up a little bit more, or if Trent can go up a little bit more. Okay. Depending on who can do that, he's gonna utilize Luis Diaz to the other side. Okay. So that he can go and attack that wing and just create more chances to the other two players up front, whether it's Sadio, whether it's Salah, whether it's Firmino. Okay.
Yeah.
To me, I think the three that Klopp is going to come out with as the starters up front is going to be Diaz, Mane as the striker, and Salah on the right. You know, that's the way he's been coming out. Yeah. So that's what I think he's going to do. However, he's going to be switching Salah. He's going to be switching all three guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
rotate around. Yeah.
Exactly. But I think he's going to be that X factor because he can create plays. He can go 1v1 against anybody on that team.
Yeah.
Okay. And if he gets in the box, there's a big possibility that he could get a penalty. A huge possibility because he has skills. He is agile. This man is not afraid of anything.
He's rapid.
Oh my God. He is so fast. So fast. All right. So to me, that's why I think he's going to be that X factor. Okay. Again, I mentioned key players, Sadio and Virgil, but I think that X factor, that guy that is going to be able to put Sadio in those goal scoring positions, to put Firmino or Salah to take shots, is him. Luis Diaz is going to open up the opposing defense, and he's going to create a lot of chances. How? By going up to that defense and attacking them.
Yeah, because he's not, like you said, he's not scared to go one-on-one. Once he gets that ball at his feet, his first thought is, I'm going to beat you one-on-one. And if I can't beat you, I'm winning that ball right back from my team.
Exactly. It's almost like a challenge to him.
He
does not care who is in front of him.
About him.
He's like, perfect. I got the ball. Watch what I can do. Every time.
And as much as we love it, the most important thing to me, because I see it on the sidelines when they show replays, Klopp loves it. Klopp is always smiling, clapping, like, yeah, keep that going. Like, it's like you said at the start, it's a phenomenal sign. It was a phenomenal sign. It fits perfectly, and I'm glad that he's doing well because I've always liked him, and you know, it's good to see him like that. You know, so
I agree.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. So right back to you. What would be that X factor for you? Whether it's player, coach, whatever it is for this Real Madrid team.
In a way, it all kind of ties down to Ancelotti because, like I said, when I go with Vinny, it was mainly all about Vinny, but then the tactical switch to Klopp. When I go with Valverde, I'm thinking the tactical switch on Ancelotti. How does he stop Robertson and Thiago? Now I'm thinking more, it's like coach and player. Because I was going to say, in general, an X factor to me could be the subs Real Madrid makes because he has a thing. I don't know if he has like a magic touch, but usually a sub that he brings in, it works out. Right? Every time I seen Camavinga come in, he gives something different. Again, I promise you, I'm not bringing it back because I'm trying to rub it in your face, but I think about the first time it really hit me like, wow, this kid's a difference maker. Like he did something different. Real Madrid Barca, 4-0 already. Real Madrid looked like they just wanted the game set. Like they didn't even want to play. Barcelona was passing, just like it looked like a practice session. He brings on Camavinga. Busquets gets the ball in the midfield, passes it back. Camavinga goes Boom. Slide tackles him. Gets up, literally shucks his shoulder, walks away. Referee gives him yellow, doesn't look at him. The Bernabeu went from quiet to like he injects something different. And the last few minutes of that Clásico were a little bit more intense. Real Madrid said, all right, you know what? Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Obviously, nothing happened after that, but he injects a different life into you guys. And I saw that against City. When he came in against City, he's the reason why you guys turned that game around, in my opinion. That ball he sent to Benzema, who crossed it in for Rodrigo's first goal. The penalty comes from him winning the ball, dribbling forward, and starting to play. That won a penalty. Camavinga is a cleaner Casemiro combined with the
anybody's cleaner than Casemiro.
That's very accurate. I do not understand how this man gets away with so many fouls. Like I don't know if he's like the world's most likable man outside of the field, but he does fouls where I'm like, okay, that's a yellow. Referee's like, nah, you good. Okay, that's a red. Nah, you're good. Like, but anyways, I digress. I do think Camavinga could play the Casemiro role. I think he could be that holding midfielder. He could win that ball back. He could distribute from deep. But he also has the ability, don't get me wrong, not the same level as them, but he has the capacity to play the Modric role, the Kroos role. He is very creative. He is very calm on the ball. His vision is phenomenal. He could do a short pass. He could do a long pass. He could do a through ball. He could play. He's a very smart player. So I'm not saying, when I say this, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's better than all three of them, yet let alone one. I don't think he's better than any of the starting three. But what he has, it could be the age, he combines what all three of them have. He combines that aggressive, I'm going to win the ball back, with that calm, let's play it out, we'll find a way through. Casemiro, Modric, and Kroos, they know their jobs. They know their responsibilities. Camavinga could literally go in for every single one of them, and it won't hurt Real Madrid. If anything, it helps. Like when Kroos is off his game and they sub him off for Camavinga, Real Madrid instantly just better.
Yeah.
So I feel like Camavinga is obviously going to start on the bench unless something unforeseen happens. And I think Liverpool is going to be not dominating Madrid, but they're going to be a little bit better than Madrid. That Ancelotti's going to be like, yo, come on, minute 60, minute 70. Yeah. Camavinga is going to go in, inject a different life, and those last few minutes are going to be hell for me because, again, I'm going to be like, oh, my God, I'm just probably going to do it all day. So, to me, that's my X factor. I do think it's Camavinga.
Okay, so in other words, a Camavinga jersey is what you want.
Absolutely not. No, thank you. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate the thought. I appreciate it.
Right, please don't waste your money. No, please making sure.
Don't worry. Keep your money. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Okay, so you know what? Let's stop beating around the bush. Let's just go into the predictions.
Now we get into it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's get into the predictions. Okay, we got the road to the finals for both teams. All right. We said a little bit of key players.
Yeah.
We talked about that X factor, right? That could make that difference. So now I think it's only right we go into the prediction and the scoreline. Okay. So let's do that. Now I want you to go first. You to go first because I'm still conflicted over here.
I'm not conflicted of the winner. I'm conflicted of the score. I got Liverpool winning. I got Liverpool winning for a few reasons. One, revenge. Like, people are downplaying that. They're not understanding revenge, especially Salah. I know Salah has been MIA the last few games and he's gotten a little cocky and maybe like his fame has gotten a little bit to his, I don't know. But I know in the back of his mind is that foul. I know Ramos isn't there anymore, but I know he's thinking about that foul and he couldn't play the final. And maybe not, but with him, the final would have been different. Revenge. I got Liverpool winning. That's one reason. The second reason is the way they're playing right now. It's a scary team. It's a very scary team.
Okay.
The score is where I'm conflicted.
Okay.
I see two scores. I see a 3-2 for Liverpool, but I also see a 4-2 for Liverpool.
Ooh.
Do I think they score 4? No. So I'm going to go with 3-2 in extra time. I think it ends 1-1. I think Liverpool score first. Benzema ties. Real Madrid take the lead. Liverpool tie. They go to extra time. And the second half of extra time, Liverpool win the game. I don't know the minute, and I don't know who scores. Second half of extra time, Liverpool take the title. That's my prediction. And if they go to penalties, like we were talking about Eintracht Frankfurt and Rangers, if they go to penalties, I got Liverpool. I'm not changing my mind. I got Liverpool. Ain't no way Trent, Salah. Actually, Salah maybe. Ain't no way Trent, Thiago, actually Mane also maybe. Ooh. I got Liverpool in penalties. I got Liverpool in penalties. Let's go Liverpool.
Okay. All right. You? I like that. Well, great minds think alike because
Ooh, that's interesting.
I also, yes, I am wearing this Real Madrid jersey, but I do think Liverpool will become the Champions League champions. That didn't sound right. But whatever.
Champions League winners. There you go.
Okay, perfect. There you go. The Champions League winners. All right. Again, I think in big part that revenge game, they really want to have that game back. Okay, they really want to have that game back. And again, Sergio Ramos is not there. Okay, so I think the game ends 2-2. Okay, I think Real Madrid score first. Liverpool tie it. Liverpool scores a second one, and then Real Madrid tie it.
So we just got it flipped. We got the same score, but I got Liverpool first, Real Madrid, Liverpool. You got it flipped. All right.
Exactly. I think it ends like that.
Ooh.
And then I don't see it ending in extra time, nothing. I see this game going all the way past the 120, going to penalties. Okay. And I see Liverpool winning 4-3. That's what I got.
So you got,
regardless, Liverpool will be crowned champions.
So you got, in your prediction, you got 2 misses from Real Madrid. Who's gonna miss?
Oh man. Imagine I see Benzema.
Don't. Whoa.
No.
Listen,
no, Benzema doesn't miss.
It wouldn't shock me if he hits a Panenka
Benzema
again.
would not miss. I think Vinny will miss.
Yes, I was about to say. If I could say one, it's gonna be Vinny.
I think Vinny will miss.
I agree.
And I think, you ready for this?
I mean, if you're saying the same one as I am, then sure.
I think Kroos will miss.
No, I'm staying in the same position, but I got Casemiro missing. I got Benzema.
I don't think Casemiro kicks.
Who's gonna take? I got Benzema scores. Vinny misses. Modric scores. Kroos scores. Who's the 5th?
One of the defenders. I think Militao will go up to kick.
I would give Alaba before Militao personally.
Or Alaba. Yeah, you're right. Or Alaba.
I don't know.
Honestly, I think both of them. I don't see Casemiro kicking.
If he kicks, I see Casemiro missing. If Alaba goes, I don't know. Yes. But I'm just glad we're both saying Liverpool. Let's go. I hope we're right because I do not want to see number 14.
And you know what? I'll be happy because I was able to see Liverpool Real Madrid in the final once already, in which Real Madrid came out champions. And now I'm able to see Liverpool Real Madrid in the final again, and it will be amazing if Liverpool come out champions.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Real Madrid's last final, right? Until obviously this one.
Yes. That was
because after that one, Ronaldo left.
After that one, Ronaldo left.
Real Madrid hasn't been one since then. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. I'm glad we both got Real Madrid losing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not so happy about it. You know, regardless, it's gonna be bittersweet.
I know
for me, but again, I'm leaning a little bit more towards Liverpool. But you got to keep in mind though about these injuries that Liverpool have. Okay, Real Madrid doesn't really have that many injuries right now, or going into this final.
At least nobody important, no.
Right, but Liverpool have 4 big names. Well, three, maybe 4. Okay. Right, in Salah, who got injured. You got Virgil van Dijk, who got injured. You got Andrew Robertson, who got injured, and you got Fabinho, who got injured. Yeah. Now, Robertson, I know he's gonna play for sure. He was only like cramping up, so Klopp already said he was gonna play.
Yeah.
Salah and Van Dijk, Klopp also mentioned both of them, and he said that they should be healthy for the final as well. So I would say they're both maybe like a 90% going to play that final.
Okay.
The one that scares me though is Fabinho. Okay, because Fabinho is a huge part of that midfield.
Yeah.
All right. So right now he's the iffy injured player right now. I hope he plays, but I'd say right now he's like at a 75% that he's going to play the final, which still is good odds, you know, even if he comes off the bench.
Right.
It's not bad. But But yeah, those are the 4 injuries. Hopefully they're all good to go.
Let me ask you a quick question.
So let's see.
With those injuries,
Yeah.
let's say Fabinho can go, and let's say Van
Okay.
Dijk is like at 60%. Does your mind change on the winner?
If Van Dijk is a 50%, that changes my mind a little bit.
Because to me, Robert,
again,
like you
Van
said,
Dijk, again, like I said, he is that key player back there.
Yeah.
If he's not in there, or if he's not anywhere near 90 or above percent, I see Benzema, and I can't go with Liverpool if Van Dijk is not in that field.
I agree. Because I mean, like you said, Robertson, I think is going to play. It's just cramps. Salah, even if Salah's out, hopefully not. Like I said, I think he deserves to play the final. But if he's not, he's easy to replace. You got Jota, you got Firmino, you got Diaz, whatever.
Right.
Fabinho is key, but Hendo can hold it down.
Yeah.
Virgil though, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. That's the tough one. If he doesn't play, I switch it over to Real Madrid.
I'll say this: if he doesn't play, I'm more scared. But you'll never catch me rooting for Real Madrid, baby. So I'm always gonna say Liverpool, no matter what. Virgil van Dijk could be out, and we still got Liverpool. I'll be shook. I'll be sweating, but let's go Liverpool.
Listen, if Virgil van Dijk doesn't play, this game does not go to penalties. Madrid wins it.
Okay.
Madrid wins it.
Okay, so in that case, Virgil, if you're listening, please be ready.
Please play. Yeah. We're kind of approaching now the end of the episode, or what I like to call the EOE, right? Which is pretty much where we get to talk about whatever we want. You know, it's like the little way to transition into the ending of the episode. Yeah. So let's just go. Let's keep it short. Let's go along. Again, it's a soccer episode, first episode. Let's just go ahead and finish off with something that has to do with soccer. And I think there's been a lot of rumors, you know, with the transfer window, a lot of players. So I say we talk about that. Let's do 5 transfers. Let's talk about 5, the biggest transfers so far.
Okay.
And then that's it. And then we could call it a day.
Sounds good. Well, look, if we're gonna talk transfers and we're keeping it to 5, I think it's only fair we start with the guy we keep mentioning, Luis Diaz. Because the reason I say that is because he's been, I know it happened in January, but he's the only one that was, again, in a big team and a big name that was remarkable enough to talk about.
Yeah.
I know we mentioned him a little bit, but it's interesting to talk about him because for me personally, I've seen him play in Portugal for a while. I've seen him in Colombia for a while. And I've always said, like, yo, this kid deserves to be in a better team. For some reason or another, he was never moving on. Stuck with Porto.
Dominating in Porto,
to be fair. I think what made a difference, you mentioned it, Liverpool had Porto in their group. And I remember they played Porto, and Porto had Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz went crazy against them. And I know Liverpool was always interested in them. And I know, from what I heard, they pulled like a little Cristiano Ronaldo to Man U. Club went to the board and said, I don't want him in the summer. I want him now. Yeah. Get him to me now before anybody else could buy him in the summer. And I gotta say, if that rumor is true, like that conversation is true, Club is a genius. And I think it's just right we start there. That's all I wanted to say. By all means, your turn.
No, I agree 100%. 100%. That signing was amazing. And like I said, the way he has adapted to the team, to the coaching style of Klopp, it's like perfect. It's like putting on a glove. It's like putting on a glove with this guy. It's like, oh, you want me to play like this? Perfect. That's exactly how I want to play. You know what I mean? So I think it has been a wonderful signing.
And it's perfect for a club because he could play all 3 positions. And that's what club wants.
Exactly.
It's phenomenal.
Yep. And just to add another signing there also from the same team, Konate, I think, has been great in that defense.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to add that.
Yeah.
But you know what? All right, let's go to another signing. Haaland.
Yeah.
This man is going to Manchester City. How do you feel about that?
I'll tell you this. My first initial thoughts were great signing because of the potential. Obviously, young, probably top 3. I would say top 3 at worst top 5 strikers in the world already.
Okay.
But there are some concerns for me. One, he's only been around for a little while, and every year he's gotten hurt. And it's not like a little, he stubbed his toe, he'll be out for a game. No. He's out for a while. He's missed months. He's missed weeks. He's missed important games. So I'm like, that's in Germany.
Exactly.
England, the most physical league in the world. Is it going to make a difference? Is he going to continue this injury prone? That label that he has for now. That's number one. Number two to me, and well, the only other one, how does he fit Pep's style? Like, I know Pep is a genius. I know Pep could fit anybody.
Yeah.
But Haaland is not your typical, because when I think Man City, I think of a Barcelona, a Pep's Barca, just a little below. Ibra didn't work for us. And I know supposedly it's for personal reasons, but I don't think that's true. I think it's because Ibra just didn't fit. As good as Ibra is, and I love him, I don't think he was a good fit for Barca. I don't see Haaland being a perfect fit, not a good fit, a perfect fit for City. But then again, like I said, with Pep, I can't doubt him. If Haaland could win the Ballon d'Or under Pep, and I wouldn't be shocked. Just like Haaland could flop, and I'll be like, it was an option. So it's an interesting signing. I'll say that the money involved, the name, but there's risk and reward in my opinion. But I'm interested to see how it goes. I'll say that. I'm very interested.
Yeah, no, it's extremely interesting because I think, in my opinion, I really don't think Manchester City needed him. I think Gabriel Jesus, is good enough to be that 9 that Manchester City needs. Just, I don't know why they don't believe in him. Why? Well, not they, but why Pep doesn't believe in him. That it's mind blowing for me because he is a great striker, Okay. So now you're bringing in Haaland, which to me is just another signing of like, we got the money to do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We don't want any other team to get him. So why not us?
Yeah.
Okay. And to be honest, I don't think, like, let's say he would have been already Manchester City for that semifinals against Real Madrid. I still don't think he would have made a difference. I really don't. I think Benzema playing the way he's playing as the best player in the world, I think Real Madrid still would have found a way to eliminate them.
I'll say this, to that point. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I see this. Going back to that first leg, when I said in the road to the final, if you guys go back, you'll see. I said Foden and Mahrez missed literally one-on-ones in the first half.
Yeah.
You replace Mahrez, you replace Foden with Haaland, I promise you, at least one of those is going in. And that's a different game.
Don't forget, though, you're talking about Courtois. You also mentioned how good he was playing.
No. But Mahrez and Foden didn't miss because Courtois blocked it. They missed because they missed the goal. Yeah, like Foden's first touch, terrible, dragged it wide. Courtois was never saving it. Mahrez, instead of passing it, decided to try to shoot it outside the net. Haaland,
right?
I promise. That's what I said. Maybe he wouldn't score both, but he would have definitely scored one, and that could have been a big difference. 5-3 is massively different than 4-3.
You know what? Enough about Haaland.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Let's say this. Let's see how it goes because it could, like I said, it could go well. It could go terribly wrong. So it could go terribly wrong just because of the money. He might not live up to the hype, like a certain player that I want to mention next. With the rumors that I hope don't happen. Frankie de Jong. Barcelona. I say we like I belong to like the actual club. You know what I mean?
Barcelona. I say we as well.
Yeah. Barcelona signed him for a big amount of money from Ajax because he was
pretty hefty.
Yeah, he was a promising player that everybody thought would be the next Iniesta, the next best midfielder in the world. He's shown flashes. He's had games where I'm like, I love this kid. Like, he is absolutely untouchable.
Right.
Besides Kevin De Bruyne, there's no better midfielder on his day. But then he also has days where I'm like, yo, do you even want to play here? Like, what's going on? Apparently, Barcelona's tired of that. Barcelona sees inconsistency, let's say, and they want to take advantage. They say, hey, Man United is willing to pay 70 to 80 mil. Let's get rid of him. Let's cut our losses right now. If he ends up being the best midfielder in the world, sucks for us. If he doesn't, we got to
take it on the chin.
I don't think it's a smart move. I'd rather him be under Xavi for a whole year and then make an evaluation. Like, we're talking about one of the best midfielders in the world, and now he's your coach. You think he's not going to make De Jong better? Like, De Jong's 25. Like, he hasn't hit his prime. He has years to go. Give him at least one more year. If Xavi can't do anything about it, then maybe De Jong's the problem. That's when we ship him out. I don't care if we don't get 70 to 80 mil. Even if we get 40, 30, 50 mil, that's when you let him go. But give him a year, man. Because the last thing I want to see is him going to United, prospering under his old coach who made him the young promising star he is. And then we're just here like,
that's what I want to see. I want him to go. I would love for him to play at Manchester United. I would absolutely love that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No.
So All right. So I definitely see where you stand on that. I hope it happens.
Thanks, man.
We'll get back to you on that when it does happen.
Thanks, man.
um, so now I would like to also let's talk about a rumor on like one of the biggest, most recent rumors in Dybala.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you, did you see the way he was crying
Yo,
on his last home game?
the kid was balling out.
Man,
Like I
I
honestly,
felt bad.
like
I was like, oh man, this
if you
guy.
saw that video with no context, you would think somebody died. Somebody of
Yeah.
importance died. Like he was going through it. And I get
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
but he should have left a while ago, man. Like he
Yeah.
lost his importance a long time ago. And to me, he's a very good player. A player that you don't really see often these days. He's still young. He's 28. He could find a good home and he could, kill it for his last few years. But
Yeah, I agree.
I do think it should have been 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. It's gonna be interesting to see what team he goes to.
Where do you think he fits?
To be honest,
Give me two
and
or three teams.
not because I'm a Liverpool fan, I would love to see him there, but
Hmm.
just because I would love to see him there. But there's really no fit in that midfield. You know, they already
Yeah.
got a lot of names there, so probably not Liverpool.
Definitely not the attack.
Yeah. But to be honest, with this whole Manchester, you know what? Now that we're talking about it, that was actually going to be my next question. That fifth one that I was going to tell you about was the whole Manchester United scenario. So I'm going to combine both this Dybala one and this Manchester United one. I would love for him with this, what's the coach's name?
Ten Hag.
Ten Hag. I would love for him. He's going to go in there. He's going to try to change stuff around.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he's like 2-3 signings away of making that team a BPL champion contender. Okay, they need one defender. I would love for them if they get Frankie de Jong and if they get Dybala right next to Bruno Fernandes. I think that would be amazing. Amazing. What do you think?
Tottenham. I see Tottenham as a very good.
Oh, that's a good fit as well.
But I think that's a good fit. I definitely see him doing well in England. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, he's not physical enough." He doesn't have to. He's so smart on the ball. He's so quick with the ball. He's gonna avoid those. Look at Eden Hazard. Hazard didn't have to be strong. Yes, he was pretty strong and he uses his body well, but he's not the strongest player you'll ever see. No. So I would love to see him in England. Man United. Yeah. Look, I'm not a big Man U fan, but I just personally, I don't know why, I love when a big team starts like kind of like dying down and then they rebuild up, like what Milan has done, what Liverpool in a way has done. Like when they're like, damn, they're not as strong anymore, and then I know it's like, oh. So Man U has been steadily. I would love to see them again, So,
dude, and the same thing with Tottenham. They've been like right there, and they're like they don't know what it is that they need to come up here.
They need to go.
That could be it.
They need to go see what a trophy is. That's what they need to do.
Yeah,
because they have no idea.
That could be it. That could be it. That could be that signing.
I can see him fitting in both teams. So
I'm not saying he's Kevin De Bruyne, but he could be their Kevin De Bruyne.
He could be. He could be. Know. But yeah, I think Dybala could be a good fit in England. Yeah. I don't know if it happens, but it could be.
Let's see. Only time will tell. Let's see. All right, man. I think that's it. I think it's time to wrap it up. I think we this first episode, I think we did what we wanted to do, right? In talking about soccer and having this first episode be that focus. Hopefully for the upcoming episodes, we could have a bigger fan base, both that are football fans, that are soccer fans, and that can come on here and listen to both the soccer episodes and the football episodes, just to be able to expand their horizons a bit from each sport.
Yep.
Again, if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to send us an email. Our email is what? Two bros, one pod, right?
2 bros, 1 pod. The number 2 is spelled out. So TWO bros, the number 1 pod @gmail.com. Okay. It'll be in the bios. It's in our TikTok. It's everywhere. So
perfect. So if anybody has any questions, any concerns, you guys want to give us any fun facts, please don't hesitate to email us. That'll be great. We'll show you guys out. We'll bring up whatever conversations you guys want us to talk about. We're all for it. Okay. You got any final words?
No, man, I agree. I'm very happy we finally did this. It's been, like I said at the beginning, it's been a long time coming. It's something we wanted to do for a while, and you know, it's the first step. It's the first episode of hopefully many. And yeah, like you said, hopefully, you know, the fans liked it. Hopefully they're ready to get more. They're as excited as we are to give them more.
Yep.
And yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, something you would love for us to talk about, DMs, comments, emails, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
we are primarily
Yeah. Go
talking
ahead.
about soccer and football, but we're open to anything. We watch almost every sport. So you guys want to
Yep.
hear something about like the NBA playoffs that are going on right now? UFC, your boy Jay right here. He's a huge
Yep.
UFC guy.
Yep.
As he
Trust me,
mentioned,
we'll definitely be talking about
yeah,
UFC for
yeah.
sure. 100%.
Once, like he said, like Jay said, once we get close to the fantasy season, boys and girls, fantasy talk will be busy and it will
Prepare
be
yourselves.
big. Yes. So again, don't think it's like, oh, all they're gonna talk about is this and that. Come to us. Come to us. Come to us. Come to us. We will be in touch. We're open. And like he said, if we like one of your comments, one of your ideas, we'll definitely shout you out, give you the props. And yeah, man, with that being said, I'm glad, I'm grateful. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, please leave a like. Go follow us on our social medias. We got Instagram, we got TikTok, we got obviously YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Spotify.
We got Twitter as well.
And Apple coming soon. We got Twitter. Go ahead and follow us. Our handles again are all in the bios. There's a link tree. You can just click them and they all come out right away. Instagram, TikTok, everything. And yeah, that's all for me, man.
All right. Then bro, it was a pleasure doing this with you, this first episode.
Likewise, my man.
Hey man.
First of many, baby.
Yes,
First
sir.
of many.
Peace.
All right, guys. Peace.